not dish it out if you cannot take it. I said it. I did. Y'all see my hair? You hear me? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's Nefertiti, and I'm back with another video. And I'm back with another video. What's up, y'all? Come on in. How you doing? Bring a friend. You can share the video, because you don't know who don't know what. Quit playing with my freestyle. I hope you guys are having a blessed day so far. So, do y'all remember when you were kids? And people would say, treat people how you want to be treated. You hear that from a teacher. You might hear it from your mom, your grandmother. Somebody around you would tell you, if you were being mean to somebody, they'd be like, you treat people the way you want to be treated, right? So, yesterday I was reading the Bible, and that's in the Bible. I was like, what? I thought this was just a little nursery thing that they would tell kids because we'd be mean to each other. Like, no, you don't act like that. You treat people how you want to be treated. But you know what? It does make a lot of sense, because in life, that's how we need to be. We need to treat people how we want to be treated. Now, do you want to be treated rudely? Do you want people to disrespect you and be mean to you? If you want that, that's very interesting. And that's a very rare occasion that people want you to treat them bad, mistreat them and disrespect them. So if you want people to treat you like that, I guess you treat them like that. But I wouldn't recommend you treat people that way. So, I'm definitely going to come out the Bible, because some of y'all be coming at me when I'm on here, and y'all be like trying to bring Bible scriptures. So I'm going to bring some Bible scriptures today. And I want to talk about judging people. Let's talk about judging others, okay? Yeah, so I feel like there's levels to judgment. There's levels to it. Okay, so let's get specific. Okay, stay with me. Don't get off the video. Stay here. Come back. There's levels to it. So you have a judge who is a judge in the court system, right? You go to a court hearing, you have a judge. He listens to this person's side. He listens to that person's side. He looks at the overall situation, and then he judges accordingly, right? Then you have everyday people like us, where, people tell us situations, they tell us stories, and, some folks be gossiping, and they tell you about what's going on with this person, what's going on with that person. Then some of us be putting our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents in it. And sometimes we'll put our cents in like, oh, Joe just, he just opened up a new company. He's doing this. He's doing his little cleaning business. And then we'll be like, wow, you know what? I'm really proud of Joe. He's going to go far in life. That's a judgment. He's going to go far in life. So you have judgments that's more like uplifting and positive. You're believing in that person, right? Then you have judgments where it's like you're a little negative. But let's get into it. We're going to read from Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Is it verse 1 through... We're going to go verse 1 through like 5, okay? But stick with me here. So it says, don't judge so that you won't be judged. Okay? And I really believe that when it says don't judge so that you won't be judged, it's like, be careful on how you judge people, because the way you judge them is the way you're going to be judged. Okay? So then again, in verse 2 it says, you'll receive the same judgment you give. Okay? Now, before we get any further, I'm going to just talk about this. Do not dish it out if you cannot take it. What? Do not dish it out if you cannot take it. I said it. I did. Y'all see my hair? You hear me? Don't dish it out if you can't take it. So some of us like to always have something to say, but when someone says something back, we're upset because we're dishing it out, but we can't take it. Okay, so, all right, anyways, so whatever you deal out will be dealt out to you. What does it say? Whatever you deal out will be dealt out to you. Verse 3, why do you see the splinter that is in your brother's or sister's eye, but don't notice the log in your own eye? Basically what it's saying is, how is it that you can sit there and judge and tell somebody what they need to do with their life, what they're not doing, how they need to better their life, when you ain't even working on your own issues? Okay? The Bible is like, it says the Bible is a two-edged sword. It will slice you to pieces, I'm telling you, in a good way, where it will get to your heart and make you check yourself. And it's a good thing because we want to grow. So how can you sit there and tell your mom, your friends, or whoever you're talking to, you need to get your life together because you're not responsible and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Meanwhile, when you're at home, you're not in order, you're unorganized, your life is not together, and you don't do what you're supposed to do. So one thing that I believe is truly important that we all work on is to make sure that we're working on the things in the areas of our life that we are weak in, that we need work on. We need to be working on them. If we have an area of the way we think, we need to be working on that. If we have an area in the way we talk to people, we need to be working on that. If we have an area of we're indecisive, if we have an area of we're irresponsible, we're bad managers of money, whatever that may be, you can't go to somebody and tell them what they need to do in an area that you're struggling in. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Okay, stop what you're doing right now. Stop what you're doing. Okay, put that drink down. Okay, put that little bite of food down for 1 second, just a second, and like the video. Okay, when you like the video, it helps with the algorithm. You'll see more videos like this, not just mine, other people's, but you'll see mine too. I do it too. We mean well. We may mean well when we want to encourage somebody. We may mean well when we want to uplift somebody and see them do better. But if we're not doing better, we have to take a step back and kind of bite our tongue and not sit there and judge them because we're in the same shoes. Okay? So, yeah. And then it says, how can you say to your brother or sister, let me take the splinter out of your eye when there's a log in your own eye? You deceive yourself. First take the log out of your eye, and then you'll see clearly to take the splinter out of your brother's or sister's eye. So while you're sitting over here judging people around you about what they need to do, make sure that you are doing what you need to do. Pretty much. That's pretty much what it says. Okay, and to the point when I said treat people how you want to be treated, it says, we're still in Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. Therefore, you should treat people in the same way that you want people to treat you. This is the law of the prophets. Okay. Now, let's look up the definition of judge. Okay, judge. To form, give, or have as an opinion, or to decide about something or someone, especially after thinking carefully. Okay? Now, if someone tells you something about somebody that you know, right? And y'all don't know the whole scenario. All y'all know is a little side of the story that you heard. And it makes the person look bad. And then here we go. I can't believe they would do that. See, this is the problem. They ain't never going to get far because they sitting there doing this and they're doing that. Watch what happens to them. It's going to fail. Everything's going to fall for them. We're making a judgment when we don't even know the whole situation. Right? That's why we have to learn how to be quiet. Sometimes we don't need to always talk about people's business. Now, sometimes we do need to talk about people's business. It just depends on the degree we're talking about it. Right? I feel like we have to be specific when it comes to gossiping, and that's for another video. But like, there's a difference between gossiping and speaking on a situation. Like, you can speak on a situation, but gossiping is like when you all up in their business and you're telling everybody about it. Like, sometimes you might have to discuss something between you and a friend, but it don't mean everybody needs to know. So anyways, when we don't know the whole situation, when we weren't there, the person didn't directly come to us and tell us what happened to them or what was going on, we need to keep it shut and not be over here judging them. Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. I could never be like her. I could never be like him. Dusty. They just dusty. You know, we put judgments on them, and it's like, dang, you don't even know the whole story. Because y'all already know how it is. You get to tell somebody something, and then they go tell somebody else, and they add a little something to it, and they go tell somebody else, and they take a little something from it, and before you know it, the story that is the truth is not even the truth no more. That's why you need to make sure you hear it out of the horse's mouth. Don't just listen to what people tell you. People might come to you and be like, oh, I got some tea for you. Let me tell you why. You know what I mean? Don't get into that. Because if you don't know the whole situation, especially if it's not coming directly from that person, we need to be careful with what we feed in our spirit. We have to be careful with what we pour out, okay? Because, again, the way that we pour out is the way we will receive. The other day, I sat and thought to myself about some things, about different relationships I have, different friendships I have, and how I interact with people and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, there's a pattern with me when it comes to certain people. And I realized it's not the people, it's me, right? And so I'm like, what is it that I can do? Like, I had to check myself. What can I do to change that? What can I do to better that? I had to check myself first. It would be easy for me to blame them. Well, the reason why I don't really be around her is because she does this too much. Oh, the reason why I don't really talk to him is because he does that too much. When really, I'm thinking about certain people who I was once close with, I'm no longer close with, and they don't really talk to me, and it's like a pattern. So it's like, oh, okay, well, you're the problem, sis. You're the problem, right? Some people fall out of your life because they're meant to, but some people stay away because there's something about you that's not right, and they may not want to tell you, but you need to check yourself, and that's really what I'm here for. It's important for us to check ourselves before we sit there and judge other people. And think about it. Wow, I want you to understand something. When you sit and talk about people, depending on how you talk about them, understand that God hears everything you're saying. There's nothing in the world, there's nothing in the world that you can say that God does not hear. And not just God, Satan hears it too. So whatever you speak out loud, God hears it all. In the Bible, it says that you are accountable for every idle word that you speak. So when God comes back, when he sends Jesus back to come get his people, and he brings judgment to us, when we are judged to know if we're going to go to heaven or hell, guess what? He brings up the words you say. He literally brings up the words you say, unless you repent and you walk away from it. He judges according to the things you said, right? And the things you did. So every idle word that you speak, you are held accountable for. Not you, we. Every idle word that we speak, we are held accountable for. So it's very important that we be careful with how we talk about certain things and how we get to judging people. All right? Because there's good judgment and then there's bad judgment. I think it's good judgment when you know more of the situation. It's good judgment when you put something out there that's uplifting. But when you get to being like, they ain't never going to be nothing in their life. They're not going to be successful. No, they're not. She swears she's going to be pretty with that hair, but it is not going to look good on her. And the hair ain't even done yet. Oh, when someone gets in a relationship, y'all know how people get when people start dating. They get to hating. Oh, that relationship won't last long. They're never going to make it. Meanwhile, they end up making it for 10 years and y'all just over there salty. Watch it. Do you want someone to judge you like that? And I think to myself, like, when people judge me, when people talk about me, when people don't think that I know, but I know they be talking about me. And I was like, I have to ask myself, how do I talk about people? Do I talk about people the way I'm being talked about? The way I'm being judged, am I judging others? So I don't really get too mad about like, oh dang, I know these people are judging me, but how am I judging people? So that's a reality check for myself. So I want you, and I'm encouraging you to think about things before you say them, and before you get in conversations, getting to judge, make sure you check yourself. So know the whole scenario before you sit there and put something on somebody and be like, oh, they ain't never gonna be nothing. Oh, not gonna last. It's not gonna last. That job they got, they ain't gonna make it. We don't know that because they're still working the job, So judgment is really important. So again, remember, it's in Matthew chapter 7, where it talks about it says, don't judge so that you won't be judged. All right? The measure you judge people is the way it's going to come back on you. So how do you want people to treat you? However you want to be treated, remember that's how you have to treat people. And if you have an issue, if you have a hard time with treating people good, but you want to receive good, that's somewhere you have to work on. There's some healing you have to do. There's some praying that you have to do. Ask the Lord, help me to be a better person. Lord, help me to be kind to people, to be loving to people. Lord, uproot the root that is causing me to be mean and bitter towards people. Show me what that root is. Show me where that's coming from. So that way I have the capacity to love others, right? Ask God to teach you how to love the way he loves. So when we learn how to love the way God loves, we're able to give it to others. But if we don't know how to love, we're not dishing out what we're supposed to be dishing out. And the last thing I'm going to reiterate is, if you cannot handle it, don't dish it out. If you can't stay in the kitchen, if you can't stand the heat, stay out the kitchen. And that means you don't like people talking about you a certain way. You don't want people judging you a certain way. Don't do it to them. Okay? Listen, I hope this helps you guys some, you know what I'm saying? I know coming on here with these harsh truths and these harsh corrections, everybody don't like them. But correction is what helps us become a better person, and it helps keep us molded and shaped, okay? It helps us You know what I'm saying? On a better path. So don't run away from these type of words. And if it's on your heart, be sure to subscribe. Okay? Hey, listen, if you guys want to talk to me, if you want to, make sure you give me feedback in the comments below. What do you think? Have you any instances where you judge people, or where you know someone that judged you, or any stories at all? Okay? Let me know in the comments below. Also, all my social media is in the description below. I have a reaction channel, which is in the description. I have a reaction channel, which is in the description below. Check that out. Hopefully y'all like that. All right, I love y'all. God bless y'all. Stay tuned for the next video.